In my previous video, I mentioned that no consciousness is irretrievably bound to any particular earthly karma. It is so only circumstantially. This warrants a more elaborate explanation. First, a few basic reminders. Earthly karma refers to causality relationships within this temporal, impermanent world of forms. Other names for it are the samsara, the three worlds, the wheel of rebirth, the lower four, Maya, illusion, etc. Also, everything in this world is impermanent, transient, existing only within time, and has something limited by time. Everything appears, emerges, or is born, goes through constant changes until its final disappearance. Also, the soul, or the nature of consciousness, isn't part of this world. It is not bound by time. It is part of the eternal present. In this sense, its nature is changelessness. Therefore, the soul in its fundamental nature has no earthly karma. Our karmic attachments exist only when the soul in incarnation is dominated by the energies of matter, that is, the energies of the samsara. Our physical and psychical, that is, astral mental vehicles, and the corresponding attachments are made of samsaric matter. In other words, attachments exist only when consciousness in incarnation is identified with or dominated by the energies of its temporary self. That is, the ego, who is 100% samsaric matter, 100% impermanent. The main consequence for the soul who has attachments is reincarnation. It is linked to this world because of these attachments. It is limited by them and will be so until it is fully free of them, until it is no longer dominated by the energies of matter. In other words, it will be so until the soul can remain in incarnation without forming attachments, or by staying completely free of them. This is indeed a great spiritual victory for the soul and an entry into the first stages of true spiritual mastery. Now, karma is a law that will stay forever true and unavoidable. It will never change. However, what will necessarily change are the particular circumstances through which karma or causality will manifest. That is why I said that no consciousness is irretrievably bound to any particular earthly karma. Circumstances necessarily change over time. Actions, thought, emotions, and desires one particular consciousness is responsible for will unavoidably result in effects, but depending on the present condition of said consciousness, such effects may greatly vary. As one sows, so he reaps is a very accurate way to describe how karma works. From one incarnation to another, we carry deep within ourselves unconscious seeds of various deeds, thoughts, emotions, and desires from the past. These seeds will sprout, grow, and bear fruit according to their nature, but also according to the condition of consciousness in which they manifest. From one incarnation to the next, or several ones later, much will probably have changed. So if we elevate our consciousness enough out of the weight and reach of certain psychical states of consciousness, certain karmic seeds cannot sprout the same way, cannot result in the same fruits. Perhaps they cannot sprout at all and will entirely disappear. Karmic law again means cause and effect, but particular chains of causes and effects are multiple and multi-directional, having an impact on each other, but all being 100% impermanent and relative in nature. We must not look at karmic law as something linear, nor as something that should correspond to our human ideas of justice, fairness, etc. Spiritual realization means that consciousness is no longer immersed in or dominated by those psychical zones where everything is karmic, that is, where all the karma is samsaric in nature. Karmic law never changes, but then for such an enlightened, awakened consciousness, karma is of a higher order and concerns realities greater in scope and possibilities than mere samsaric earthly karma. Even if in incarnation within the samsara, a consciousness can be free and remain free from samsaric attachments, and thus cannot be bound by samsaric karma.